My skin is black.
What you looking
My
at?
skin
Yeah,
is black.
I feel so good
My
to be
skin
black right now.
is black.
What you looking at? Embrace it.
Welcome to episode 42 of the Black and Fashion podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I must acknowledge our sponsors at the beginning of the episode. Today's episode is sponsored by 620 Style. It is a luxury streetwear brand manufactured right here in NYC. She has luxury separates and amazing pieces, so you can take an additional 20% off your order by using code BlackNFashion. We also like to acknowledge adornnyc, which is a natural hair care and weave salon in Harlem. They go from natural hair care to weaves. They have very trained, specialized stylists and weaves and micro links, and as well as natural hair care. I'll have all of their information in the show notes so that you can book your appointment. Check my hair. I am definitely a customer. Very luxurious. So let's type right in. Today I am interviewing Chi. She is a night. Ooh, girl, I was about to mess it up again. One more time, Chi.
Elochi.
Elochi, see, I don't want to butcher it, so I'd rather just ask you during the episode. Chi Elochi, okay. She is a Nigerian American stylist. She's brought out into Philly. Born and raised in Philly, am I correct?
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Oh, even better. All right, so I'm just going to start off by having you give like a little bit of background information about yourself, how you got started, and what was like the fuel series of events that inspired you to become a stylist at 20 years young.
Thank you for the introduction. I've been into fashion since I was about 7 years old. I really wanted to take it seriously because I was very misunderstood with how I dressed. Not everybody understood the looks or the color combinations I came up with. And I've always been told a saying growing up that if you have something that sticks out, maybe that's something you should pursue. So I knew that I was like, okay, I have something here. Everybody doesn't really understand it. Maybe I should, give it a go. So I really started taking it seriously when I was in 11th grade. I had a friend who told me maybe you should get into styling because your outfits are always out there. I researched it and I was like, oh, this is my fit. This is for me. So from that point, I just kept pursuing it. My first biggest kind of fashion moment was in 2018. Claire Somers, she had her Fashion Bomb Daily Expo kind of thing in Houston. And there I met Ty Hunter and different people, and I learned a lot about the industry and the people and what it's about, and it just made me love it even more.
Amazing. Okay. Are you school trained at all, or do you feel like it's better just to kind of go with what you feel as a stylist, as opposed to getting maybe a school education behind it?
As for right now, I am self-taught. I'm not opposed to learning, going to school for it, probably in the future, just so I can, be well-rounded in a lot of areas, and I can navigate the industry and know exactly what it is I'm doing. But really, I believe it's just a God-given gift to have gotten where I've gotten without having to do that. But I'm definitely not opposed to it.
So how would you describe your personal style? Or how you style?
I'd have to say eclectic soul. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Eclectic soul, yeah. Break that down for me.
I feel like it's a lot of my inspiration from fashion comes from Erykah Badu and her outfits and how colorful and how loud they are and how they, I feel, break down her personality. Oftentimes when I dress, you can tell when I'm sad, depending on the colors I wear. You can tell when I'm happy, depending on the colors I wear. I believe it's really important for me how I dress to demand attention rather than me saying it. I want my style to let you know I'm in the room without me having to be like, hey, I'm in here. So for me, it's just a lot of colors. If I think the prints are cool, if I think the combination is cool, it's not really about matching for me. It's more so, I believe, just expressing art and the material and everything and different garments.
Gotcha. So you really feel like you push your edge with color theory. And do you?
Yeah,
color theory, because color does can set a tone, can set a mood in a lot of different ways. And you feel like you really, really utilize that? Do you feel like you really utilize like textures and prints as well?
Yes, yes, yes. And I believe that's the Nigerian side of me because my dad, he would always have the head wraps around the house, and we would get different fabrics from home. So seeing that growing up, and I would see my mom wear the traditional outfits, I'm like, okay, this is cool. Y'all got something here. So I think as I got older, I just kind of incorporated that into my personal style, and I didn't even realize it. It was just something that kind of happened. So definitely, I feel like if it's not, the outfit isn't loud, I'm not doing something right. Gotcha. Like I can wear like some jeans and a t-shirt and like some Chucks or some Vans, but I still
have on
feel
Vans
like
right now.
Missing. Okay, girl, I know you're comfortable.
I am.
I still feel like something's missing, even though I really love like a casual look. I can't explain it. I feel like it doesn't have all of my personality with it. Mm-hmm. So if I have like a red jacket on or a red and white shirt or like some blue pants, I'm like, okay, here we go. I can leave the house, I can leave wherever and feel good about myself.
Gotcha. Do you feel that it is sometimes, I guess, like a struggle with like resources in Pittsburgh, or do you feel like you have lots of like endless opportunities there?
Oh, girl. Oh, oh yeah. Pittsburgh is very. It's trying to catch up with fashion. It's trying to get there. So it's a lot. Well, you really got me. A lot of it is Pittsburgh can be really racist too. So,
gotcha.
While there's support in Black communities and everything like that, all of your resources isn't going to come from just that community. So it is very difficult, which is why it was very important for me to make sure you establish yourself outside of where you are. Because I feel like if I tried to establish myself solely where I'm from, I wouldn't really have gotten anywhere as quickly as I wanted to. So it's definitely challenging. But I believe establishing myself elsewhere made it easier, because I think the unfortunate part about it is when people notice you from other cities, people respect you in the city you're in. So until I started like connecting with people in different places, that's when people start to take me seriously. That kind of made it easier for resources, but at the same time, it's still kind of hard.
Gotcha. Do you feel that you get a lot of, not even say like a backlash, but do you feel like it's even more challenging because of your age? Because you are young, and there's a lot more like established stylists that have been in the business a lot longer. Like, do you find that to be a struggle as well, or do you feel like you're constantly having to prove yourself?
Yes, I do constantly feel like I have to prove myself. Yeah, it hasn't been like challenging yet, but it does feel like you have to it seems like you have to prove that you have a gift all the time, because people are like, oh, she styles, but then they find out she's 20, so it's like, she don't know about me. I want to be a cougar today, and I'm like, wait, I do. I've been like, it's not what you think. So it is challenging in that sense. So I have to pace myself so I don't get discouraged, because if I focus on what I don't have right now and that I can't help that I'm 20, it'll definitely discourage me. And I was like, that's not what it's about. That's not why I'm doing it. So I try to put my energy on the people that don't even care. That it's like, okay, she has a gift, she has something here, so I want to work with her. I want to see her build, on that gift, rather than the people that are like, she's not up there yet, so I can't work with her. Gotcha. So I think it's just important in anything you're doing to focus on the people that want to see you win, that don't care, that there's like no excuse, that there's no kind of requirement. It's like they have a gift, I want to help you. So that's what I try to do.
Do you find that it is very difficult to make money when you first starting now? Like, has this become very profitable for you at this point yet? Or are you still in a place where you're still like, I would say, of course, you're still building your portfolio because we're always constantly building and building our clientele. But profit-wise, is it hard to retain clients because of like your very unique style? Or would you say that you are a chameleon and that you can adapt and change up the style depending on who the client is? Or do you feel you have like a specific area or a lane that you only style in?
I personally don't think I think income has really been an issue, fortunately. Of course, I'm like still starting, so that's still, so if you put it in that sense, I guess you can say yes, but I think for my position, not really. The thing is, when I style people, I don't style them how I dress. That's something that was really important to me because I realized, everybody's personality is different. So I can say that I can be very versatile depending on the client. Okay. It's very important to, get their personality. And I'm like, okay, you're not going to like, a lot of loud colors, and that's okay. For me, it's not like an end-all, be-all kind of thing. Like, if you don't like this color block sweater, we can't work. It's like the goal is to really make the people feel good in what they're wearing. And if that's not your thing, that's fine. Let's find something else. Let's try something else. So that's never really been an issue because I'm like, this is just how I dress. You don't have to dress the same way. We're all different. And that's what style's all about to me. So, no, but I definitely feel like growing in this career, I feel like there's more to reach, but fortunately for myself, it hasn't been very difficult to get clients now or to get people to notice because they've seen me work with people that look nothing like how I would dress. They're like, oh, okay, so this is like a normal look. So it's not really challenging, though. It's a blessing, fortunately.
Yeah. Do you work with men and women, or do you solely have a female clientele?
Oh, men and women. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Which one is easier?
Are way easier.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you find that working with men are a lot easier than your female clientele?
Men let you kind of do your thing. They trust your eye and your judgment. And women are like, well, I don't like this. I can't really feel it. And I'm like, if we're going to be working, you got to trust that. You got to trust your stylist. And men are just like, you know what? If you like it, put it on. And we're just going to see what it looks like. But working with women, it's like they want to style themselves, but they want, you to style them too. Of course, not all women, but a lot of them kind of struggle with that. So I definitely say men.
Gotcha.
The level of trust is way, way higher.
Gotcha. Would you say that money-wise that you get a lot of pushback from clients, and how do you actually price out your services? Is it an hourly service? Is it a one-rate service? Like, how do you make money when you're working with the clients?
It's hourly.
Hourly, okay.
So my rates are $25 an hour.
Okay.
For I do free consultations. I haven't gotten pushback yet, which is a blessing. I hope I didn't jinx myself.
No.
I hope I didn't. I haven't gotten it yet, but I know that it's probably gonna happen. It's because not everybody really sees styling how they see, like a regular job. People don't think styling
is a luxury, though. Like, so you have to be willing to pay for it. And then, like, as you grow into the designer, your prices are probably as a stylist, your prices are going to raise. Like, your prices are going to get higher.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I can't hear you, love. Can you go back into the microphone?
I apologize.
No worries.
I kind of get bummed out by it because I'm like, you guys can pay, like, your nail technicians and your hairstylist, but I'm like, styling isn't easy. Right. So I haven't gotten pushback yet because I believe people kind of respect how difficult it is to style and to be able to do it, and considering how long I've been doing it. And I think for me, it's important to form that personal kind of relationship so that you also know me. And it's like, I'm not trying to, play you or anything like that. It's just you're factoring in different things. So I haven't gotten it yet. Gotcha. I think that part kind of came from working to build a name outside of where I am. Because I originally, yes, But once people are like, oh, she's, doing this, God willing, they're like, well, she has a gift. She has something here. So after that, people, I believe they respected it more because other people did.
Gotcha. Okay. So I have a little segment that we do. It's called Fashion Story segment. And the Fashion Story segment, of course, is sponsored by 620 Style. I'm actually wearing today our Past the Mustard jacket. So make sure you guys check out the website at 620style.com. And you guys actually can go on there and get an extra 20% off. This is actually one of my favorite pieces. Very comfortable and very, very detailed design. So the Fashion Story segment is basically called It's a Success or It's a Disaster. So I want you to tell me a story when you were with a client or customer that you learned something from, whether it had been a disaster and turned into a learning experience, or whether it was like something that was super duper successful and you also like learned from it.
Oh, wow. It was, I'm trying to remember the year. I think it was like last year. I was styling a client at Marshall's, and I'm, still learning, and I didn't fully understand that when you style people, you're getting so many of their insecurities just in your face. Like, and it doesn't even occur to you. I'm like, okay, let's just, go to the store and pick something out. So I'm, lifting up pieces. I'm like, this will look real good on you. So fits your body well. It's a nice color. And they're like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's fine. So, I picked something else up. I picked something, I think it was maybe like a V-neck. And she was like, I don't like this either. And I was like, it's too revealing. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what about these pants? They're too tight. So I was like, okay.
There was something wrong with everything you picked up.
For the most part, but not because not because of the clothes, but because of the insecurity. And I didn't fully understand that you have to factor that in too. And I was like, okay, so this is just I think you can call it a disaster, but it was learning. It helped, but I didn't know. And she broke it down after, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just thinking, that we're just picking out cute outfits, but I had to learn that, some people have insecurities for different reasons or maybe things that they've been through, and everything just isn't like this cute. It's important that they're comfortable. So it was a little discouraging because I'm like, these are some bomb looks, but I think it made me feel better doing what I do, knowing moving forward, make sure you factor in what they're insecure about.
Gotcha. So
make sure you get what they're comfortable in.
Okay, so what did you do like after that, like that helps you understand a person's personality, their insecurities, how they like shopping after that? Did you create like a system where you would ask like a series of questions before going to a shopping environment, or have just like a, intimate, like personable conversation with them to really understand how they are as a person before going to a shopping environment? So what did that experience teach you as a stylist and what you need to do in the forefront before being in a situation like that?
I definitely made a list of questions. I definitely had to make a list of questions because I'm like, this is important. So I believe one of my biggest ones was, what give me a name of like a celebrity you look up to, and tell me maybe about an outfit they've worn, maybe send me a picture or whatever. And like, it has to be like your favorite look. And okay, so you like it. Okay, cool. Can you see yourself in that? And if depending on what they say, that'll that'll kind of gauge for my questions.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if they're like, no, I can't, I'm like, why can't you see yourself in that kind of look? And then that'll let me know. Well, because maybe my thighs are too big, or maybe I don't like, my torso, or my arms are too big, and that'll lead me into the series of questions. So following, having that disaster, a lot of people I worked with moving forward said you make it important to make the stylist, the model or the client comfortable. Before I never did that. And like I honestly say, I didn't know. So I definitely I felt like you can't go wrong with your celebrity, because a lot of us look at different celebrities and we're like, oh, that's cute. I can never see myself in it. And we never say why we couldn't see ourselves in it. So once, had that mistake that was really like a lesson, and just
Lesson
applied
learned.
that and started asking questions. It really helped. And it made the client comfortable, and it made them want to come back because they felt like, okay, I'm not being judged because I don't like this, and there's not something wrong with me because I don't feel comfortable in this. You're willing to be patient with me. I definitely feel like it taught me patience in a different way, which is really important.
Okay. Do you partner with other stylists often? If so, do you find it difficult to tell like two different stories? Like, is it hard to work with another stylist, or do you find it to be a very like organic and cohesive situation?
I'm not opposed to working with different stylists. I haven't yet. Some do want to collaborate. This year, I haven't. So I don't think it'll be rough. I'm definitely, if you have your vision, I have my vision. Let's try to find some common ground to make it work. So I'm not sure if it's challenging. I've done different shows where there were where there were stylists there, picking out and everything like that, and they were always really nice. So I feel like that one maybe depends on their personality, and I feel like it could be maybe an ego kind of thing. So I feel like if that person is very down to earth and easygoing, it shouldn't be difficult.
Gotcha. So do you actually like follow like trends or things that are going on in the industry, or do you find to be like the complete opposite and you're like the trendsetter? Do you follow colors, textures, patterns, prints, and stuff like that, like when the trend reports come out?
If I'm being honest, absolutely not.
There's nothing wrong with that. Some stylists are trendy, some stylists are not.
No, and sometimes when I try to follow trends, I see everything repeating itself.
Okay.
I see the bubble coats coming back. I see like the Chinese slippers coming back. I see the grills coming back. I see.
You said grills?
Yeah.
Oh, girl, Jesus.
At some point, like, everybody stopped wearing grills, and then now, like, it's fashionable again. And I think it just turned me off. And I'm like, I feel like everything, and not even to go on a rant, that a lot of Black women started. People downplayed it. And then they were like, hey, it's trendy. And I was like, yeah, I can't get into this. So I'm like, let me just, as you said, just do my own thing. Because trends repeat themselves over time. So I figured if you're doing, personally, if I'm doing my own thing, I'm always on time. Gotcha. I'm not missing anything. So
makes sense. Do you have like a certain items, so maybe either like 3 or 4 that you feel like every woman needs to have in her closet that is not necessarily, well, clearly not trendy, but like our staples in every woman's wardrobe?
I believe every woman needs a pair of either high top or low top black Converse.
Okay.
Some light wash jeans. They can be distressed, whatever. They can be straight leg, whatever. A denim jacket. You cannot go wrong with a denim jacket.
Of course.
I'm trying to think. A V-neck or a crew neck. A white or black V-neck or crew neck, because you can dress it up, you can dress it down. And for accessories, I definitely feel like some pearl earrings, black hoops. Excuse me, not black hoops. Gold hoops or silver hoops.
Yeah, I'm a hoop girl.
You're a hoop, same.
I mean, I like my little diamond studs, but I'm definitely a hoop girl.
Yeah, same. I'm like, the louder the hoop. And I feel like this is a personal preference, so it may not apply to everybody, but I feel like maybe some camo pants.
I think a lot of people love camo. Camo's trendy, actually.
Yeah,
Camo's definitely a trend. Like, sometimes it's in, sometimes it's not in, but I would definitely say that camouflage is a ongoing trend for sure. Like, because I've seen it like nonstop, but like in the last 3 or 4 years.
That would definitely be a go-to for me, because I also feel like you can dress that up or dress that down.
Definitely, for sure. How do you deal, like, when you start working with clients and stuff like that, how do you deal with like women transitioning from like buying their own clothes to like working with the stylist? Like, Do you feel like they need to be super duper involved? Like, do they have to go shopping with you? Like, can you just go do the shopping and like bring it back? Or do you feel like they need to be, when they're transitioning to working with a stylist, they need to be a lot more hands-on with the process?
I definitely feel like for me personally, it's important to build that trust. While I know that you can trust me and I'm not going to get something that's going to have you, embarrassed out here, I think it's important for them, moving forward, if they want to rehire me, to feel like, okay, I can be a part of this process, because for some women it's difficult to transition, period. So I'm like, if you want to come, by all means, just let me do what I got to do.
Right.
But you can definitely, tag along. I think it's important to build that kind of relationship, that kind of connection, where if you have a say, let's, break it down. Let's talk about it more. Let's see what really fits you. I feel like that can help me as well to continue to learn more about you. And then there are some that are just like, you know what, take it, go. Like, get my clothes, come back, just make sure it look good. So again, I feel like it depends on the person, but I don't mind.